She had on the tactical pants, a bulletproof vest, and a body camera, none of which belonged to her. What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new over here, I'm from Washington, D.C., 25 years old. My daughter got a birthday coming up. I'm just going to name off a few things, you know what I'm saying? And if you are not new and you are a returning person, make sure you subscribed, you feel me? But thank you for being here, whether you new or whether you returning. So we in a new month, but it is quite a few stories and situations that I want to talk about that happened last month from around the world, and specifically in Washington, D.C. And that's what this video will be about. It will be about yet another shooting, this one police involved. It's fair to say that things went left really fast. Sunday, April 24th, police publicly identified a woman from a deadly shooting that occurred a day prior, on April 23rd. News reports began flooding over social media about an armed woman being shot and killed by police in D.C. The officers responded to the Northwest area in which the woman in question, 42-year-old Erica Graham, lived. The initial call to police was a report of a shooting that went down around 6 o'clock in the morning, and that shooting occurred before police even arrived. The MPD said that they found a woman that was shot in the arm. Shortly after arriving on the scene, they found a woman that was shot in the arm, and shortly after that, observed Mrs. Graham acting erratically in their opinion. She was wearing a special police uniform, but once checked after the whole melee went down, the name on the uniform did not match Erica Graham's. She had on the tactical pants, a bulletproof vest, and a body camera, none of which belonged to her. Apparently, the incident and erratic behavior started at Mrs. Graham's job. She worked as a concierge, and the incident, it all went down because of and started because of Mrs. Graham's behavior. Now, we don't know the extent of her behavior and why necessarily it was called erratic. We don't know that, and of course we don't know whose uniform that was and what the relation of the person whose uniform it actually was to Erica Graham. It could be that, or did she grab this uniform from her work site? We just don't know yet. This erratic behavior, once she got in the area of her home, included the shooting of one of her neighbors, and also she continued on to smash the windows of other neighbors close by. Police tried de-escalating the situation to engage verbally with Miss Graham. They asked the 42-year-old woman to drop the firearm and get on the ground. She did not comply with the gun still in her hand, according to police, still acting erratically. So at that point, a police officer shot the woman. First aid did respond quickly, but Erica Graham was pronounced dead on the scene. The officer involved in this shooting has been put on administrative leave. The body camera footage is currently being reviewed, and I believe it says that they have like 5 days until it's released publicly. I'll probably watch that on my own time. I don't know yet. You know, certain things like that are just kind of hard to digest, even though, of course, you want to know how the situation actually unfolded and if cops could have did other things, go another route about it. The administrative leave that the police officer who shot Mrs. Graham, that's protocol from the department, so that happens. Whether or not he gonna keep his job, he or she gonna keep their job, we don't know, probably will. We'll see. In my view, there could be a lot of different reasons why all of this went down. Number one being mental health. I speak on people in my community, in the Black community, and how depression and mental health is something that is either ignored, not known much about, or is swept under the rug as nothing or thrown to the side as nothing until things like this happen. This could have all transpired because of a mental breakdown, and in that case, I would have wanted police to respond different. This could be a mental breakdown with no prior mental health or mental illness record. Good people that have 30 or however many years that they've been living, everybody knew them as a happy person, as a strong person, this, that, and the fourth. People break, People break, and it's hard for them to come back to reality. So this very well could be that. But number two, this very well could have all started because of a drug-induced situation where the 42-year-old woman possibly ingested drugs before even making it to work or shortly before getting to work, and the reaction from it just made a whole different side of her unleashed. And I'm not saying this for sure, that's why I'm saying possibly. I don't want nobody to think that what I'm saying is disrespectful, even though people have different opinions every day, But I just want to make sure that I'm coming correct and being understood that I'm just speaking on some possibilities here, to shed some type of light. Because I do come from DC, I feel like having a certain amount of years here, you see a lot of different things for a lot of different reasons, and I could be talking about a lot. You feel me? Like, we've seen our elders in ways that people who might come from the suburbs or different areas, they've never seen. A lot of people don't have that same reaction of going through a lot, seeing a lot, and remaining strong. And that unfolds in the hood. That unfolds in the urban communities almost every day. Whether it's somebody who was my age in school or an elder. It's also possible that smoking before work or something like that would happen on a regular, but what if something was laced? Like, what if it was laced with something? Like, we just don't know. And more details will come out as time goes on, and that's kind of why, like, doing what I do, I like to wait a little bit just so I have more to speak on, and just so I can make as many people informed about a lot. And again, I'm just thinking of times in the hood where all HE double hockey sticks, because I'm trying to stop, swearing and stuff. HE double hockey sticks would break loose, and why? I really wish they didn't have to shoot her, especially if it is something mental health wise. But we gotta think about, like, police officers, especially in the hoods that I'm talking about. They be acting scary nowadays. Like, they not willing to see all of these people as actual people, so they be treating them like shit, talking shit, I don't know. Hey, they be just scary, so they see a gun, that's an automatic threat to them if you waving it or anything. I mean, it's been situations where it wasn't waved in DC, like it wasn't being waved around or nothing like that, and the person still got shot and killed. That's how they react here. That's exactly how they react here, and that's why I do think it might be something like mental health wise or something. Because, but we will see. Again, we will see. Another thing about it is, even if they would have tased her, she still had the gun in her hand, so she could have easily squeezed the trigger. Like, I can see that, so I don't know what to do, and I don't necessarily know how to talk a person down, from doing anything else, but they supposed to know. It sucks that it gotta keep being stories about DC and situations that play out in DC like this to go nationwide and stuff like that. And people say that, but don't make excuses for people, Don't make excuses for people and then try to blame it on these blogs and news outlets for sharing the story. Mental health shouldn't be ignored. There is no such thing, in other cases, there is no such thing, in my opinion, as a functional addict or a functional alcoholic that still go to work. You end up losing jobs over time. You might could keep one for a certain amount of time, but it ain't no longevity in that. What comes up, meaning a high, gotta come down. And I'm talking in general, not just about this situation, because I be wanting people to know that, like, it's no way that the night before you can get totally smashed and then go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and have the best positive attitude that you can. Like, learn from what you've seen. You know what I'm saying? Learn from what you've seen and move better than that. But this situation is definitely sad. That's somebody's child, somebody's grandchild, that's somebody's sister. I wish that if it was something mental, that she could have got the help that she desperately needed, or otherwise, she could have got the help that she needed. Because I don't like when situations like this happen. Like, I can remember a young fella from here named Dion K. He was actually, I believe, either running out of an apartment building or running around it and ran into a police officer. And Dion K was like 15 or so, had a gun in his hand, and the police officer killed him. And I felt like that could have been handled differently. I do understand that it's a immediate threat, and I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody, for somebody who's 42 or somebody who's 15. I'm not going to say, it's tough out here, you better have a gun. That's a 15-year-old that could have been in school, or a 15-year-old that could have been helping their mom with something, staying out the way, doing some chores, something. I don't make no excuses. I just wish that there was different ways to handle shit like that. Who's to say that he wouldn't have gotten down on the ground, put the gun down, and this is not even the same situation, but then police fire back with saying, what if he didn't? And that's all they're thinking about. I'm thinking about different ways, and they're thinking about the only way, because he has a gun in his hand, because he looks criminal, because that is a criminal thing to do, So, hey, it's all in how you look at it. And sadly, the type of justice that we be seeking in certain situations that we feel is not right, they have explanations for it. They have laws for it. They have not victim blaming, but actual charges that they could have put on that person. So they not going to feel bad about their decision, even if we do. Even if we feel bad that a person's life got took, It's just as simple as that for me. It's no excuse for having a gun in your hand. In some situations, I'm saying, I just wish it could have played out differently. That's the actions of police, and that's the actions of the folks with the guns in their hands. Not trying to be biased on it. It just is a sad situation. And I hope that, you know, in the next coming weeks and months that we do see some type of information that can gauge why this happened. I want y'all to leave y'all thoughts in the comments below. Tell me how y'all feel about this. Rest in peace to Mrs. Graham. I hope that the victim in this situation, the woman shot in her arm before police got there, I hope she makes a full recovery. And yeah, we just gotta do better in our community with stuff like this. And hopefully everybody can learn from it and move a different type of route. You know what I'm saying? Anything that starts at home, don't bring it to work and then take it back home. Or vice versa. Like anything that starts at work, don't take it home. And, you know, it might get you in trouble or, in this case, fatally injured. It's your girl, B. Octavia. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for watching yet another video. And I will see y'all in the next one.